So here we go, everybody. Welcome to another edition of the Boot Room, the show where we look ahead to Town's next game. Today I'm joined by good old Andy Warren as we look ahead to Morecambe at Portman Road. How you feeling going ahead of this one after the defeat at Oxford on the weekend in the fog?
Yeah, hopefully no fog for a start. That would be good to be able to actually see what's going on the pitch at Portman Road. I'm sure it'll be fine. But the defeat from Oxford is the main thing, and that means that this game is a game Town really need to win. They need to win their home games anyway. But in this scenario against a team in that position in the league, on the back of what happened on Saturday, it's a game Ipswich need to win, pure and simple.
Yeah, must win is the big label on this game. And let's quickly talk about Morecambe, Andy, then. 21st in League One. Derek Adams, of course, the man in charge. They haven't had a game for a couple of weeks because of postponements and other different things. But they're unbeaten. Actually, they're 3 games unbeaten, actually. You know, a 5-0 win against Burton, a 2-1 win against Cheltenham, then a 2-0 win against Accrington Stanley to end 2022. We beat them at their place. What's your sort of memories of that game? You know, a missed penalty, but we got over the line eventually.
I have zero memories of that game because I was at a wedding.
Oh yeah,
It was a wonderful Sikh wedding. It was great. Those are my memories of that game. So I can't tell you an awful lot about that. But Morecambe, they're 3 big wins for Morecambe in there. If they're going to survive again for another season in League One, they'll look at that spell of wins as possibly being the run that gave them a chance of doing that. Saying that, coming to Portman Road is a completely different prospect for them than the games that you've mentioned there, Accrington, Burton, and teams around them. So they've not got a great away record. People will remember Cole Stockton from last season. I think it was 26 goals he scored last season. This season he has 2. So they don't quite have the same threats that maybe we remember from last season. So it's a game Town really should be winning. I think they will win it, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the response that they put out on the pitch at Portman Road.
Yeah, indeed. Tuesday night game, a long trip for Morecambe, but I'm sure Town fans will be wanting to get back to winning ways, bouncing back after the defeat against Oxford. Let's talk about the team and Andy. We saw for the first time Nathan Broadhead, George Hurst made his full debut, Harry Clark made a cameo. Are we likely to see those 3 men maybe start from the off?
I think they're the 3 areas of the pitch for discussion. Broadhead looked really sharp off the bench coming from the left hand side. I'd be surprised if he doesn't start this one ahead of Marcus Harness. You might think Harry Clark could bring a bit more physicality and athleticism, a bit of more energy to right back if he was given a start. I think they both will. But it's a really interesting discussion about the central striker. George Hurst showed some. I think he's shown in his 2 appearances already that he really does fit the system and the way that Ipswich want to play. I think he fits it well. The attributes that he's got. I do think he looks a little rusty though. The only way he's not going to be is by playing, and you play your way into that form. So do they start him and hope to play the striker they've chased for so long into top form as soon as possible, or does Freddie Ladapo come back in? No doubt, really fired up, having dropped out of the side at Oxford. I would edge that way personally, but it wouldn't surprise me or really disappoint me if Hurst started, because they need to get him going. I think these new signings could make a real difference to Town right now.
Yeah, indeed. I think we're pleased that they're in the door now instead of, the last 7 to 8 days of this window where we need those game changers, but they're already here. Then Andy, what are you feeling like then? Town bouncing back, a must-win game. What's your prediction?
I feel quite confident about Ipswich going into this. There are some big tests ahead now for Town. Consistency is going to be king from this point forwards. They need to put together runs of wins. I think they will win this one. I think they could win it quite handily. It doesn't necessarily cure all their problems, but it does sort of push them to the back of the mind a little bit. And I think that Town will come out 3-0 winners in this one, and then move on to the next battle.
Indeed. I'm gone for a 2-1 win. I think it'll be an interesting battle against Morecambe. I think they'll come here wanting to win the game because they are battling for their lives as well. And I'm sure they won't be bringing as many fans as they did last year when the opening day of last season because
Yeah.
it's on a Tuesday night. A long way to go. But yeah, 2-1 win. We have a little pause, Andy, for the key stats, and then we're going to end the boot room with just your quick little fire of the team, just the full 11. So let's get to the key stats. Okay, we're back. There's the key stats, the referee, and all that jazz. Andy, then let's quickly just get your quick fire team to start the game.
Walton, Clark, Wolfenden, Burgess. I think that's worth a discussion, but I don't think it's worth a discussion yet. I'll go Burgess, Davis, Morsey, Evans, Burns, Chaplin, Broadhead, Ladapo, and then a shuffle on the bench as well. I think you'll see some people coming back into this. Humphreys will come back in, I'm sure. Maybe even Kyle Edwards coming back in into the bench. So a little shuffle on there as well.
Indeed, so many options of Kieran McKenna. And we shall see. If you're going to the game, enjoy it. If you're not, follow the game with us and bring it on. Bye-bye for now.